Hello friends, my name is Tawfiq and you're watching my channel Graphics Den. So in this video we are going to see the clone stamp tool, which works pretty similar to the healing brush tool. Now if we see how the healing brush works, first we have to define a source. And how do we define a source? By pressing and holding the Alt key, then click on the source material, whatever source we want, and then we have to draw wherever we want to place it. But in healing brush tool, as you can see, it tries to blend in the background. The source material, it tries to blend in the background. But unlike the healing brush tool, what the clone stamp tool does is it keeps the source material as it is. For example, again, let me start the keystroke application first. So the procedure is similar to selecting the source. We have to press and hold the Alt key or the Option key in the Mac and left click on the source, whatever source we want, just like when we take the screenshot on our mobile phones. But we have to place our pointer or cursor and press and hold Alt key and left click on it and leave the left click. So it will capture the source. But unlike the healing brush tool, what the clone stamp tool does, it keeps the original source material rather as it is. As you can see, even if I release the left mouse button, it continues from where I left the image. As you can see, it is copying from the source material and simply it is cloning it rather than trying to blend it in the background. But if we want, we can decrease the opacity from here, so it will be rather faint in the background, or it won't be clearly visible. And if I draw it one more time on that same place, it darkens. So that is the main difference between the healing brush tool and the clone stamp tool, that healing brush tool tries to blend the source material in the background, but the clone stamp tool keeps it as it is. That is the main difference. You can also try the different modes that we have seen in the earlier videos. You can definitely try. Just for example, let's say soft light, I'll keep the opacity to 100. It will again get a different result if we change the mode of the brush. But the main difference you have to remember is the way it works. It doesn't blend, it only copies, or it literally clones the source material into the desired area wherever we want. So this is the main difference. So it is used for blending into the backgrounds, like similar, let's say I want to use this particular image in this image. So as you can see, it is not blending into the background, but we can still try to blend into the background without changing its color. So it is it will depend upon our skills, that how it works. But you get my point. It doesn't blend into the background, it simply clones. But this is also used for removing unwanted areas. Just for example, let's say I want to remove the branding from this particular image, which is this one. Let's say I don't want this branding on this image. So I can simply select this area by Alt and clicking over here. Then I can simply draw it over the unwanted area. So it will get removed and without any trace. It is so seamless. Let me try this area as well. Alt click, and you have to Alt click multiple times if you don't get the result. Looks pretty good. Sand doesn't have a fixed pattern, so this looks pretty good actually. So this is the original image. Show you again. This is the original image, and this is what we have done with the clone stamp tool. Using the clone stamp tool, we can also try to remove these trees, because these clouds also have some random patterns, so it will get merged into the background, if you like to say it, because they don't have any fixed pattern. So it will be easier to remove the trees and apply this cloud pattern. So this is how it looks. So this is the original picture, and this is what we have done using the clone stamp tool. So this is used for both the things, like for making clones of any object that you want, and also to remove unwanted pixels from your image. So this is a pretty useful tool, mostly used for removing the watermarks from the images that we don't want, or unwanted objects. But there are few other methods to remove unwanted pixels from the image, but whatever you feel comfortable with, whatever tool, you can use it. You just have to try it. Whatever works best for you, that you can use. So this is what clone stamp tool does. Now moving on to the next tool, pattern stamp tools. It simply creates patterns. Like, pattern can be anything. This image can be a pattern. So let's say if I want to use this image as a pattern, I can simply go to edit. First of all, open the image that you want to be created into a pattern, just like the brush that we created. So this image, I want to create this image into a pattern. So I'll simply go to edit menu, and just below the brush preset option, there is an option called as define pattern. So simply we are saying to the computer or to Photoshop that create a pattern, create a new pattern. So you can name it whatever you want. So let's say beach. Let's say I name it as beach. So this will go right into the pattern panel. So this is the pattern that I just created. As you can see, beach. So I can use this pattern in some other images, but as this image is lot bigger than this image, so it will be tiled, it will repeat itself. So let's say what if I take a larger image, more the image with better quality. What if I choose let's say this image? Yeah, this looks, I think, larger than this one. No, no, I think we may need some, because that baby's image is very big. What if I select, let me think, this doggy's image? This looks pretty good. Yeah, this might work. So define pattern, let me name it as dog. Yeah, this might work. So yeah, look, so this only create a pattern, or you can use it simply as a brush. So instead of any color, you are using the pattern. So this is pretty simple. Instead of any brush color, any brush stroke, you are using the pattern itself as a stroke of the brush. So this is useful while you are applying colors to objects, or let's say text. So let me give you one quick example. What if I create a circle or oval shape, and I want to apply a pattern over here? Instead of the color, I want a pattern. So I can simply go to the fill, and instead of the solid color, I can go to pattern. So we will get the same pattern gallery that we have just created. This doggy will again come, and I can also decrease or increase the scale. I can change the scale, I can change the angle, as you can see. So this is pretty neat actually. Look, this is pretty simple to apply any images into any object, or for text for that matter. Let's say again I will write dog, or maybe let's say we'll go with the cryptocurrency Dogecoin, which is pretty famous these days. Doge looks pretty good. And let me try a bolder or thicker font. This is already thick, but let me make it a bit thicker so that we will see what's inside the font. So I can simply again go to the option from layers. Where is the layers panel? F7. Look, double clicking on the dodge, or you can simply right click or go to the blending options and go to pattern, and we can simply select pattern from here. Yes, or you can select different images. Let's say I want that baby's picture, so I can simply go to this baby's picture, then I can go to edit, define pattern, let's name it as baby. Again I'll go to the layers panel. You can simply, there are plenty of other options, go here, same thing will happen. Pattern overlay, select your desired pattern. So I want this baby. You can change the scale, you can change the angle. As you can see, and if you uncheck this option, you can simply move the text and keep the image still. So you get the point. You can create any pattern that you want and use it on any object, be it text, be it any shape. So I hope you understood some of this, and if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, bye bye and cheers.